Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to you viewers and welcome to the SOUFRIERE mini stadium for game number 4 in the St. Lucia Premier League. NAGICO South CASTRIES Lions, they're up against SRDF, SOUFRIERE, PITONS. Both of these teams having lost their first matches played. SOUFRIERE, PITONS losing to the Craft Masters of Choiseul. And the Lions, NAGICO South CASTRIES Lions, losing to the Miku Trailblazers in a very close encounter, the closest to date. We are greeted with cloudy conditions, and we are very much aware of some bad weather approaching. As we wait for the first ball to be bowled, toss has been taken. NAGICO Lions winning the toss and deciding to field. They've made 3 changes to the lineup from yesterday. I'll just go through the lineup. Johnson Charles, the captain. Dwight Thomas, Mervyn Wells, Kester Shalmine, Cornelius Alexander, Junior Peter, Tonya Simon, Nixon Edmund, Xavier Gabriel, Daniel Jabatis, and is it Kevon Lewis? Nixon Edmund. So the players are out in the middle. The umpires are putting the final touches. Xavier Gabriel will be taking that from the commentary box end. He's now marking off his run-up, and the batsmen are at the crease. It's Tennessee Hippolyte and Canis Richardson. Canis Richardson, more noted for his fast bowling, but today he's in the role as opening batsman. I'll be joined by my fellow mate, Joseph Senmarth, in a bit. The umpires for today's game, Johan William and Andrew Leons. And Xavier Gabriel starting off with Colinus Calendar at mid-off, Tonya Simon at mid-on, it's Kester Sharman at mid-wicket, Daniel Jabatis at short fine leg as Xavier Gabriel runs away from us into bowl to Richardson. First ball on the stump, and it's going to be a run out. And he just misses the stump there. Richardson hitting the ball to Kester Shalmine at mid-wicket. Kester Shalmine was quickly onto this one and whipping the ball in, just missing the stump. If he had hit Candice Richardson would have been in a lot of trouble. So already some excitement as Xavier Gabriel runs away from us again, bowling to Richardson, short, and he back cuts it down to third man, where he's picked up by the man that looks like Shilon Isidore. Shilon is another player in. Isidore in for Shalry. Jabatis in for Milan David. And Nixon Edmund in for Vanillius Gabriel. So 3 changes made by the Lions, while SOUFRIERE have made 1 change. Candice Richardson in as Xavier Gabriel runs away from us again. He'll be bowling to Tennessee Hippolyte, and he's struck on the pad. A loud appeal. Ball ricochets off the pad, goes down to a short third man position where Shilon Isidore picks up, and the batsman goes through for a single. Leg by being signaled by umpire Johan William. Gabriel now at the top of his mark, bowling to Candice Richardson. This one is short. Richardson is back and across and plays it down in front of him. Dwight Thomas runs in. No run. The score 2 without loss. Thomas extra cover as Xavier Gabriel runs away from us. Bowls to Richardson, is down the track, drive. This one goes quickly to Calendar, and the batsman run through for a single. It's 3 without loss. Xavier Gabriel again running away from us, bowling to Tennessee Hippolyte. This one outside the off stump, going further away, taken by keeper Junior Peter, and that brings the first over to an end as we welcome Joseph St. Marth, sporting a Manchester United shirt. Manchester United winning today, defeating Everton. So 4-0, and remain at the top of the table. City also winning yesterday, 6-0. We're still looking to see whether Chelsea can make any inroads. Goalless draw, Chelsea in a goalless draw today. So welcome, Joe. Had a big meal today. As Daniel Jabatis is in bowls, this one beats him outside the off stump. Daniel Jabatis in for Michael Shalry, Joe, and we were having a little discussion about that earlier on, some of the changes that might take place, and 3 changes made. Daniel Jabatis in, Shilon Isidore in, and Nixon Edmund in, although he's not with the gloves.
Yes, Brian, and as we said, these 3 ought to have been in the team in the first place.
Okay, Jabatis in to Richardson, down the leg side, off the pad it goes. Xavier Gabriel sprints in, but cannot prevent the single. Leg by, taken by Empire Andrew Leons. The score 4 without loss, and the Lions looking a little more energized today, Joe.
Well, they have no choice because they have to win today, Brian.
So it's Daniel Jabatis in to Tennessee Police, drive down the ground, and good stop there by calling us Calendar. Very good athlete, just moved across and knocked it down, but still the batsman able to go through for a single. And certainly a better start to the game today in terms of the Lions bowling. Bowlers more on target.
Yes, Brian. Yeah.
Daniel Jabatis in short, and he pulls it around, but it goes straight to the man on the boundary that looks like Kester Shalmine. And another single. And we were just talking about the discipline bowling start this morning, this afternoon, Joe, and here goes Daniel pitching one in short.
Yeah, probably well, you spoke too early.
Too early. In again, and he flicked this one off the pads. His tennis Hippolyte. Kessa Shalmine running across, bubbles this one, and they're back for the second. Yes, so Daniel Jabati just strain a bit down the leg side, and those of us who know tennis Hippolyte likes to play on the onside, so he'll be ill-advised to pitch that ball in that zone. Jabati's in again, bowls to Hippolyte again on the leg side, and he works it around, and two more runs to Hippolyte, and takes the score to 10 without loss after 2 overs.
Yes, and Jean-Baptiste was strained on the legs of Hippolyte, and he flicked in the ball through mid-wicket and getting two runs on 2 or 3 well occasions. So Jean-Baptiste will have to bowl a tighter length to Hippolyte on or about the off stump. As it's going to be Xavier to continue the bowling from the broadcasting booth end.
Yes, Joe, so Gabriel. In that, unlike yesterday where we saw a number of wides and so on being bowled early, this is not the case today. No, hope we're not speaking too early. As Gabriel runs away from us bowling to Richardson. But it's down, we can drive straight back down on the onside. That's 4 runs. Tonya Simon couldn't get across, and it's into the boundary. It goes for 4. This ball was pitched further up, and Richardson was advancing and hit this one all along the ground to the left of Simon at mid-on, and at 4 runs.
Yes, it was a beautiful shot, the on drive, and it's a difficult shot but to play. So this show you that he has some batting ability.
Yes, one of the more difficult shots to play, the on drive. But what went well for him, he was advancing, so he took it almost on the full. As Gabriel again to Richardson, he drives at it, misses, and taken by keeper Junior Peter. And the discussion was also on whether it should be Junior Peter or Nixon Edmund holding the gloves. Both players are batsmen in their own right and can do a bit of keeping. But I guess in the coach's estimation, it's better to use Peter. Shot delivery there. A little more effort into this ball, and effort delivery, and going over shoulder height there. Richardson equal to it, trying to hit it over mid-wicket, not making any contact, and through to keeper Peter. And skipper Charles having just a little whisper to Xavier Gabriel. He runs in again to Richardson, and he's back and places it into the outside and picks up a single. It's Mervyn Wells running from backward point. So the score goes on to 15. As we see the umpires signaling to the men to take on the covers. As Xavier Gabriel running into Hippolyte. And again, this one's on leg stump, and he works it off the pads, and Daniel Jabati is just bubbling a bit there, but he recovers quickly. And the batsman is through for a single. So we to over number 3. So I guess the first thing that the skipper would want is to get the 5 overs out of the way. So it's 16 without loss, and we the over number 3. Xavier Gabriel running away from us as the drizzle is with us now. Bowling to Richardson, and he swings this one over mid-wicket. Will he be out caught? He's caught! Yes, he's caught on the boundary there. Good catch taken there by Nixon Edmund. This one, for a moment, I thought it was going over the boundary. He judged it well, looked at where he was, making sure he was nowhere close to the rope, and took a fantastic catch there, Joe.
Yes, I'm not surprised because that's why I told you I prefer him to be behind the stumps. He has a stiff pair of hands. So that was a good wicket but to get because these two batsmen were looking well set and they were playing very well indeed. But the South Castries Lions getting a breakthrough, and I'm sure they're very happy out there.
Yes, early breakthrough for the South Castries Lions. Richardson was looking dangerous there. Tried to hit this one over the square leg region there. Probably a little high on the bat. And it was Nixon Edmund judging that one superbly there and taking a fine catch.
And I suspect Xavier Gabriel is bowling a better line.
Yes, a better line, and it seems the captain had a word with him, a little effort as well, putting a little more effort, Joe, not just running in and going through the motion. And I think both teams know what this game means, and they will be putting in their all. Well, it's one thing to not do too well and recognizing the fact that you did not do well and wanting to do well. So it's good to know that he recognized that fact. As Daniel Jabatis is taken up from the top end, bowls to Prosper, Kiefer Prosper, as he guides it down to third man, where Tony Simon picks up. And Simon, we noticed in the game yesterday, we didn't see too much of him. We know him to do a bit of bowling, Joe, but we didn't see him used at all. Yeah, a little surprising.
Well, probably he wasn't needed, Brian.
Okay. So it's Daniel Jabatis weight bowling to Hippolyte, and he's flirting with danger there, trying to run this one down to third man. And again, Joe, we keep saying flirting with danger shot there, getting out short, trying to play this shot where he's only going to get one run, whereas he could have probably tried to play something similar, maybe drive it down the ground. Daniel Jabatis is in again to Tennessee Hippolyte. This one make it a little more height as he watches it go through to keeper Junior Peter. And as we were saying, Joe, the bowling a little more disciplined today.
Yes, much more disciplined. And Jabatis has improved a lot as a bowler, Brian,
yes,
in my opinion.
Yes, he has. As Jabatis bowls again, he drives this one down going to, oh, it's good bit of feeling there by no other than Collins Calendar. Picked up and only one motion through at the stumps while the batsmen were trying to steal a single there. And at the end, not hitting the stumps, and the batsman threw for a single. And if they know anything about Collins Calendar, that's one of the men you don't take any chances to. As Jabatis bowls again to, and he's dropped him. This one was hit back at the bowler and went through the hands of Daniel Jabatis and just beaten Calendar at mid-off there, but batsman only able to gather one run. So this ball, Prosper is trying to force it off the back foot, maybe high up on the bat, and maybe Jabatis taken by surprise there and not taking the catch.
Yes, and it was a bit hard too, Brian.
Jabatis again bowls and jets over the man at extra cover there and into the boundary. It goes for 4. This one was short from Jabatis, and Hippolyte was off the back foot, hitting it just above Nixon Edmund at extra cover, and down to the boundary it goes for 4. An escape there for Tennessee Hippolyte, Joe.
Yes, Brian. So we saw 2 near chances there for the bowler, Jabatis. He got a cotton ball which he didn't accept, and the last ball, the batsman hitting it over the head of the man at extra cover and down to the boundary for 4.
Yes, so the two batsmen living a bit dangerously, and I guess they're also taking into consideration the conditions. It's a bit cloudy at this point in time, and we're into over number 5. They are 23 for 1. The batsman to go. Canis Richardson. And Xavier Gabriel deep in thought there as he gets to the top of his mark. And he'll be bowling to Kiefer Prosper. Gabriel spotting number 8 as he runs away from us to bowl to Prosper down the leg side, and it beats the keeper and goes into the boundary now over 4 more. And let's wait for this. Yeah, 4 wides. A little wayward there from Xavier Gabriel, Joe. This one pitched down the leg side and going further away, and wicketkeeper Peter not able to skip across and effect the save, and goes into the boundary for 4 wide. So 4 welcome runs there for the batting team.
Yeah, and Gabriel, I'm going to the old habit of yesterday, bowling down the leg side.
Yeah, so
wides.
Gabriel again, this time he's bang on target, as Prosper can only played into the offside where Dwight Thomas picks up. So every now and then, Joe, probably a little extra effort there and losing the plot.
Yeah, well, it happens sometimes.
So it's Gabriel turning, running away from us to bowl to Prosper. This time this one bubbles up into the air. Let's wait and see what it's a leg by. Yes, Empire Williams signal. So this one was probably heading on the leg side. He's just trying to work it off,
yes.
the legs.
And the height too, Brian.
Making a little height there. And they're through for a leg bite. So it's 29 for 1. So Kiefer Prosper is on 2 and Tennessee Hippolyte on 11. Gabriel into Hippolyte. And this one again off the edge, dropping just short of the keeper. And down to the boundary it goes. 3rd man boundary for 4. Not a chance by any means, but this one was dropping short of keeper Peter. And the man on the 3rd man boundary there, it's Shilon Isidore, didn't have a chance. Not even Usain Bolt would have gotten across there in time to stop this one. And 4 more runs to the total, 33 for 1.
Yeah, so all the good work now, Brian is put into waste now. So 2 boundaries, and that will help the SOUFRIERE team a lot.
Yes, especially if the conditions as is. Gabriel into Hippolyte and in the block hole this time, and that's where he should be bowling all the deliveries. Hippolyte coming down hard on this one. Squeezes out into the onside where it's picked up by Kester Shalmine. And Kester Shalmine, one of the bright prospects. We're hoping that he probably be looking to see him bowling somewhere in the death of the inning. Gabriel into Hippolyte down the leg side, and he tries to tickle it around the corner. Not sure if it's off the bat or... Yes, it looks like it came off the bat. With Empire Williams, you always have to have an extended wait to make sure. This time, it seems it came off the bat. So, 1 more run to the total. It's 34, and we're into over number 5. And the conditions have gotten a little gloomy at this point in time.
Ideal conditions for swing bowling, Brian.
Swing bowling, yes. As Gabriel in and bowls, and this one's slower delivery. Is it? Yes, he signals wide. For a moment I thought it brushed the back of the part there, Joe, but umpire Johan Williams is in the best position.
That's right.
To make that sort of judgment. So I will not say in my opinion. So here we go again. Xavier Gabriel bowling to... this one he digs it out and back along the track, but Xavier Gabriel makes a fine stop there.
Yeah, so it was a good delivery. A Yorker length for 2nd Yorker in the over, and Prosper had to get hard on it, and the ball trickled back along the wicket, and Xavier had to move but to his right, but to make a good save.
Yes. So it's going to be Daniel Jabatis to continue from the Riverside gym end, as we see again the guys going towards the tarpaulins, the covers.
And I think that will be the pattern for the rest of the day, Brian.
Yes, and this one is on. This one is just about on the off stump. He put it coming forward and plays it back along the track. So we have a game on. 5 overs being bowled. 35 for 1.
You can see it's even with Stevens.
At this point, yes, he's doing it short and he cuts it through the outside. They're looking for 2. As we see Nixon Edmund, water through there from Nixon Edmund. The keeper not gathering. The batsmen were trying to explore the possibility of a second run. But Nixon Edmund was across in a flash, picked up and whipped that return in. And Junior Peter not gathering the ball cleanly. And this one is short and he pulls it and Dwight Thomas makes a shot and there might be a run out. Oh, and Thomas, instead of throwing to the bowler, he went for glory trying to hit the stump, Joe.
Yes, Brian, but the batsman was always safe.
Well, from our vantage point, it almost looked, it looked close. This time it's further up to the bat, turns to people, pushing forward and beaten, and that's the sort of line Jabati should be looking to bowl.
Yes, Brian, that was a good delivery. It was pitch on the off stump and it cut away from the batsman and he was beaten all ends up.
Yes, so let's see if he learns from that. As Jabati runs in, bowls to Hippolyte short and he cuts this one. Cannot beat Johnson Charles at extra cover. And we just spoke about that, Joe. He just had the batsman beaten, pushing forward, and the next delivery, he pitches it halfway down the track. Typical West Indian.
Yeah, not learning, Brian.
As Jabati is in to Hippolyte, short again, and off the edge is gone down to the boundary. 4 runs. 4 runs. This was short from Jabati, short and going down the leg side. He put it into the pull shot of the top edge. The man, Xavier Gabriel, who was at long leg, couldn't come across. And into the boundary it goes for 4.
Yes, Brian. So the first 4 overs from the 2 bowlers, 2 each, were good overs. But the last 2, 1 each from them, went for some runs. So they are not bowling the right line and length in the last 2 overs, Brian, and so they are going for some runs. And so Captain Johnson Charles will have something to think about.
Yes, Joe. So the bowlers at some point they need to do some thinking of their own. A coach doesn't have to tell you to stick with what works. But in this instance there, we saw Daniel Jabati deliberately trying to bowl the ball short, whereas he was having the guy in some difficulty.
There's a bowling change. Sheldon Isidore.
Well, Sheldon Isidore, another experienced bowler, played by the various age groups, under 15, under 19. And the senior national team, also the Stanford Pro team, as he bowls this one into the pads, and he just works it off the pad down to the man from the long on. Tony Simon runs in and picks up 1 run to the score. Take the score now on to 42, and we're into over number 7. As Sheldon Isidore, sporting number 45 on his back, runs in, he'll be bowling to Tennessee Hippolyte. Bowls, folded by the loud appeal and looks out, he's out! He's out, and that is what we are talking about, Joe. Bowling the ball right up there. Toe crusher that was, and Hippolyte very disappointed there. Maybe the match referee might have a word or two with him at the break. A toe crusher there from Sherlin Isidore. Hippolyte missing, and we know, and again he goes. Definitely, Joe, the match referee will have to have a word with this young man.
Oh yes, Brian, but that was a good delivery from Isidore. The first one was also a Yorker, but the batsman played it on the onside. But this time the batsman could not get a bat onto it, and he was plumb leg before.
Yes,
probably well he's vexed well with himself, but not with the umpire.
Yes, Joe. But as we said earlier, Hippolyte favors the leg side, so he played around this one. Yeah. He was trying to work it through the onside and missed. Probably the eyes lit up when he saw it was a foolish delivery.
Yeah.
Probably just took the eyes off for a bit, looking to where he wanted to play the ball, and being struck in front. And umpire Johan Williams, no hesitation, sends him on his way. And you notice this time he was confident enough. He didn't have any delay in sending him on, making the decision.
So that's to show you that.
And we just have a look at the replay on the screen. Yes, the umpire giving him. The umpire giving this one. Look very much. That would have missed the off stump, Joe, and the leg stump, but certainly will be taken off the middle stump.
It was a good decision by
the
umpire.
A good decision when we look at it look at the replay.
I didn't even have to look on the replay.
As Isidore bowls to the new batsman there, who is Ashley Hippolyte, and works it off the pads and picks up a single. Kester Shalmine runs in and picks up 1 run. And again, the guys have been motioned to go towards the covers. And Sherlin Isidore, one thing it works for him, he brings that ball up and works on getting some swing.
Yes,
there's one person who
he haven't got the pace, so he's bringing the ball up, and that's right.
Yes, and another one, a loud appeal, and he's giving him. He's out. He's out. LBW. And we were just speaking about that, Joe. One of the things going for Sherlin Isidore is he brings the ball up, looking for the swing, and Prosper again, one who favors the onside, not able to negotiate it, missing the full ball, hit on the toe, and being given out LBW. We'll have a look at it on the replay.
Another easy decision again for the umpire, Brian. And about middle and leg.
Yes.
Hitting across the line.
So we're just having a look at it on the monitor. Yeah. Again, hit in front of middle. There he goes, in front of middle. Yes, you could see the off stump and the leg stump. Yeah. Hit in front. Easy decision. And Joe, you would know, as being an umpire yourself, you would know these decisions are very easy.
And to me, a leg before is the easiest one for me.
Oh, okay, Joe. For me, the easiest decision is the one where you're bold. So we have the new batsman coming to the crease as the music blares up now. Oh, and we have the Piton girls there. They're warming up in the background today for sure. They're warming up in the background, where somebody we have not seen in the first couple games. But definitely today they're warming up. So we should see some action pretty soon.
That's wonderful, Brian. Wonderful. Wonderful sight.
Yes, and Joe, you would know if you would know of the wonderful sights. As Isidore in full again, and just about sneaking through there. This one hitting the bottom of the bat, and for one moment there, Isidore thought he had breached the defenses there, and that looks like Nick Elibox.
And Elibox. The Yorker is not an easy ball to bowl, you know, and he's bowling it at will.
Yes, and from a youth player, he has. In fact, that's what struck us when we first saw him. He used to bowl the Yorkers at will. Isidore to Eli Box. He hits it out in the offside, where it's picked up by Mervyn Wells, it looks like. And no run. A good over by Sherlin Isidore. 2 wickets in that over. 43 for 3.
Yes, and Isidore striking twice in that over, and so the South CASTRIES Lions, they're very happy now, and you can see they're moving energetically on the field, Brian.
Yes, and Joey said a double strike in the over.
Yeah.
It is said that lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, but definitely we haven't the children Isidore, no lightning in any stretch of the imagination, striking twice.
But one thing, so sometimes you think, well, he's an express fast bowler and he tends to bowl short and he
pays the price.
Yeah, and he pays the price.
Right.
But he's bowling a very good line today.
Yes, so I guess they know what's at stake. So it's Daniel Jabatis bowling over number 8. Short, and he pulls this one around, but only as far as Dwight Thomas. And again, Joe, after bowling some pretty decent deliveries, he is consigned to the fact of bowling some half trackers.
Yes, Brian, and the pitch is not conducive for that type of bowling.
Right, as he bowls on this one outside the off stump. Better lined as Hippolyte just watches it go through to the wicket keeper. 43 for 3 in over number 8. And we have a very faint drizzle as Jabatis bowls this one again short and outside the off stump. Hippolyte, Ashley Hippolyte shoulders arms as the crowd is beginning to stream in.
So Hippolyte is showing good concentration, Brian.
Yes, but for how long, Joe?
We have to wait and see.
As Jabatis bowls, and this one is short again over the batsman's head as he signal one over the shoulder. So Jabatis seems to be working to a plan. He has a man on the mid-wicket boundary. He has a man on the long-on boundary. A man is now going out to the extra cover boundary. We have Sherlin Izzo at the short fine leg.
And he also has a long off, Brian.
He also has someone in the long off boundary as well, as Daniel Jabatis bowls short. And he tries to just work it off the body. No run. Dwight Thomas at mid-wicket, patrolling that mid-wicket area. Skipper Johnson Charles patrolling the extra cover area, moving well at backward point. As Daniel Jabatis running away from the riverside gym end, bowling to Hippolyte as he watches it go through and it beats the keeper, but retrieves quickly enough that run is not taken. And that's the end of the over. The second maiden of the tournament, Daniel Jabatis, 43 for 3. The SRDF SOUFRIERE PITONS. So Joe, a pretty good over, although some innocuous deliveries there, but at the end of the day, in the context of the match, no runs scored in this over. So at the end of the day, a pretty good over.
Yeah, you can even call it a golden over, Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good over. He beat the batsman outside the stump on a few occasions. And so the South CASTRIES Lions will be very pleased with that last over.
Yes, as Sherlin Isidore takes up from the commentary booth and bowls to Eli Box. He advances down the track and hits it down to long on, where Tonya Simon just skips across and restricts the batsman to a single. And Joey, as you said, a golden over, despite some 1 or 2 poor deliveries. When the report is written, you will just see a maiden over.
Maiden over, yeah.
And no bad deliveries bowled in the over. You will not see something like that. As it's Isidore running away from the commentary box end to it. A loud appeal, another one, but this time umpire Johan Williams agrees them in the affirmative. Seemed to have had a bit of bat. I think we heard on the stump mic.
And probably well, he was hit just outside off stump too, Brian.
Yeah, but just have a look at it on the monitor replay. as Isidore running into bowl to Eli Box. He advances and has a heave at that one, but cannot beat Kesa Charman at square leg. No run. And we just have a look at the previous delivery.
Yeah, the technician can give us
yes,
a replay.
we having it on screen now. Yes, it looked to have been struck just outside the off stump there, Joe. Yes, just outside the off stump. Yeah. So, good decision. Sheldon Isidore runs into bowl to Eli Box, short, and he's back and just stabs it out in front of him to the captain, Johnson Charles, at short extra cover. The guys who were over by the tarpaulin are now back in the seats, so the threat of rain has subsided a bit. Isidore from the commentary box end, bowling to Eli Box, comes bowls and up to the button. He drives it down to long on, but Toya Simon gets an awkward bounce and off the chest goes into the boundary for 4.
Yes, both Isidore and Simon was unlucky there. He got an awkward bounce, as you said, Brian, and the ball went into the boundary for 4. But Nicky Eli Box is a dangerous batsman, and they will have to try and get him out early, Brian.
Yes, Nicky Eli Box we know can be a very dangerous batsman, but a little unlucky there is Tony Simon. But Joe too, he went a little lackadaisical as well.
Yes, Brian.
Yes, and the ball cannon off his chest and running into the boundary for 4. As we see Darren Sammy making his way just in front of us there. Just back from Pakistan. And we'll probably try to have a word with him at some point. And that's the end of the over. It's 49 for 3. This RDFP is 49 for 3 after some 9 overs.
Yes, and it's a tussle out there between the two teams, because I think both teams lose on the first match.
Yes, both teams lost their first encounter, so makes the group a little interesting. As we see another bowling change, it's calling us Calendar, the all-rounder. And yes, Joe, and your wish has finally come true.
Yes, Brian, and
it seems the Peter girls have been well warmed up. They are now into some sort of action.
Yes, Brian, and I'm more happy now.
At some point, we will have Joe to go join the Peter cheerleaders there. You might teach him a thing or two, or he might teach them a thing or two.
Yes, Brian, I'll be happy to teach them, and I'll be happy for them to teach me something also.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. As you can see, Darren Sammy having a word with Kenson Kazime of HTS, as Calendar coming in from the Riverside Gym end. Short delivery, and Ashley Hippolyte just off the back foot, just stabs it down in front of him. No run. Bowler himself does the fielding. 49 for 3, and we into over number 11. Calendar, left arm over the wicket to Ashley Hippolyte. Oh, and this one hit just to the left of the captain at extra cover there, and goes down to the extra cover boundary, where it's Nixon Edmund who runs around and picks up. Perilously close to Jonathan Charles, who was diving away to his left, a la David De Gea.
Yes, that was a good try by the captain, and the batsman was lucky that the ball didn't stuck in his hand.
Yes, but Calendar was a little too far up there, inviting the drive. Calendar left arm over, bowling to Eli Box this time, and he goes for a big heave there and misses outside the awesome as the ball goes across him and taken by wicket keeper Junior Peter. As we see the fans continue to stream in. 50 has just snuck upon us there, and Joe not even realizing that. Sneaked in under the radar there. 50 for 3. as kind of bowls, and this one is in the block hole, and Nick Elibox cannot do no more than dig it out.
Yeah, good delivery there by Calendar.
Yes, and what I noticed about the bowlers today, Joe, is they seem to be bowling to a plan. Not well, apart from one or two delivery, they seem to be just trying to bowl line and length, trying to get some dot balls in.
That's the right way to go.
As he bowls full delivery, and he straight to the captain Johnson Charles at extra cover. Eli Box not making use of this delivery, a full delivery. That should have been going maybe just to the left of the captain at extra cover to get a boundary, but was not able to get that done.
He tried and hit it too hard, Brian. He should have caressed it.
Right, as he bowls again. This one hits it high and hard, over long on it goes, bouncing into the house, over the fast, ever long on, out of the ground it goes. So it's 6 runs to Eli Box, and as we said, Eli Box can be a very dangerous customer, showing us what he can do.
Yeah, that was a magnificent shot. He hit it on the up, Brian, and right over long on for 6. It was a great shot.
Yes, and Calendar guilty of bowling that ball right in the slot there for that. And Xavier Gabriel, his senior fast bowler, is having a word or two to him there. But as we said earlier, Nick Elibox is we're getting a shot of the Piton girls there right now. So the ball is yet to be retrieved. So match referee John Smith is out in a flash with the box of replacement balls.
Yeah.
Oh, they found it. In fact, we understood that the ball hit by Calendar last evening was found somewhere near the PI school, Joe.
So
that was a mighty blow.
Mighty blow, yeah.
So we await that ball to be returned to us.
I doubt we'll get it, Brian.
And we understand the CEO has indicated anybody who can return that ball will be in for a reward. So we see some of the NAGICO South Castries fans with their fan shirts out in the stands, and that's one of the new features for this tournament. A lot of the teams with their fan shirts. So that was the end of the over, and Shillan Isidore is back in the attack. He has so far bowled 2 overs and picked up 2 wickets for 8 runs. He's bowling from the commentary box end, and we bowling to Ashley Hippolyte. And this time a loud appeal, but it seemed to have hit the inside edge, and umpire Williams says not out.
Yeah, Brian, I think it had a lot of bat.
Okay, from here, Joe, it seems a piece of the inside edge is now on the pitch. So that's how much of the bat was hit there. So it's Isidore from the commentary box end. As we look at it on the monitor there. Yes, it looked like it hit there. And this time again is on target is Isidore. Hippolyte defends. As we took a look again, yes, low down on the bat it looked like, yeah, the inside edge onto the pad. So another good decision by umpire Williams.
I'm impressed with him so far.
Yep. So maybe in a while we'll have Shano to have an interview with Darren Sammy out in the stands. As Isidore bowls to Hippolyte, and again is in the block hole. Again, another good delivery. Oh, it's a no ball. A free hit. Isidore just overstepping the popping crease there. So, Ashley Hippolyte would have the opportunity of a free hit.
And let's see if he will make use of it, Brian.
Okay, let's see what Sheldon Isidore has up his sleeve. Will it be a short delivery? Yes, he hits it and goes over the man at a long off for 6. Over the man at long off for 6. Isidore going right up to the bat, and Hippolyte obliging, hitting this one over long off for 6, Joe.
Yes, and Isidore guilty of not using his brain there, Brian. I think he should try a slower delivery, but instead he chose to bring it up in the slot, and he was treated with a 6 over long off.
Yes. So as we speak, Joe, the players are now making their way across to the covers.
Well, as I said early on, that will be the pattern for the rest of the day.
So it's Isidore into Hippolyte, and he places off the pass. He's looking for 2, but looking for 2, and there might be a run out. He dives home there. It was Eli Box struggling to get home, and a good bit of fielding there by Nixon Edmond on the mid-wicket boundary. He was sprinting around like a Michael Johnson of old, running the 400 there, picked up and
in one action,
threw in one action, threw in. But 2 runs nevertheless, as Isidore in again to Hippolyte, again into the path. Will they go for 2? No, this time they settle for 1, as Edmond is quickly in on 1 run. 66 for 3.
But Brian, I am also impressed with the batsman at the non-strikers end.
Hippolyte.
Yeah, he's playing very well indeed.
Yes, Hippolyte.
Yeah, he looks correct.
Hippolyte, an attacking batsman by nature, but today he's curbed his attacking nature to adapt to the circumstances. His team needs some sort of a partnership, as Isidore bowls to Eli Box, and Eli Box goes for the big hit off the edge. It peels off the edge and is going down to the boundary. Yes, it gets there now. 4 runs. There's some peeling off the edge from Eli Box over the man at third man, a short third man, and into the boundary. Your calendar couldn't catch up with it, and it goes into the boundary for 4.
Yes,
so
and
70 for 3, and we're into over number 12.
Yes, and Eli Box is a similar batsman like Calendar. He likes to go for his shots, and we saw in that last ball that he tried to hit it over extra cover, but got the outside edge, and it went down to third man for 4.
Yes, Joe, it's a good thing you qualified your statement. A similar batsman to Calendar in the sense that he likes to go after the bowling.
After the bowling, yeah.
So it's going to be Calendar from the far end. He'll be bowling to Hippolyte. Left arm over, bowls short. And just to the right of the man at short fine leg, and he goes down to the boundary for 4. Calendar was short, and all he did was just help it pass the man at short fine leg and down to the boundary for 4. So 74 for 3. So 31 runs been added by these 2 so far. So Calendar running in from the, and it's a fuller delivery. He struck it down the ground. Long frame of Xavier Gabriel goes down. Single. So the score is on 75 for 3. So So it's Calendar bowling to Eli box, and he drives it into the cover region where it's picked up by Johnson Charles. 75 for 3. Eli box is on 15 and Hippolyte on 17. As Calendar runs in the wind, again bowls down the leg side, and let's see if this is off the glove or if it's off the thigh pad. Yes, it's off the glove there, and single to Eli box takes him on to 16. 76 for 3, and we're into over number 12. So here goes Calendar again, this time bowling to Hippolyte. And then he pulls this one around. Will he get across? No, he won't, and it's into the boundary now. 4 runs, and Calendar is paying a penalty for being too short there, Joe.
Yes, Brian, and they're losing the plot. He's bowling too short. The pitch is not conducive for that. He should be bowling a fuller length and allow the ball to swing. And so the South Castries Lions now are letting the game go away from them, Brian.
Well, I wouldn't say they're letting the game go away from them. They're just probably letting it slip a bit, and doing all the good work of the earlier bowlers. As Calendar is in again, bowls. This one is further up, and a no ball, and off the edge, and well done by Simon, a dive and stop as they go through for the second run. But the important thing is a no ball, so it's a free hit. So skipper Charles will have to think about it, whether he should with Calendar, because he has a number of up to him. Probably Joe should send him a text.
And if you can recall, last night, Brian, they allowed the Miku team to score 147, and they lose.
Yes, they lost by maybe some of the runs that they gave away.
Yeah.
As Calendar, and given the treatment there by Hippolyte, over long on it went, and 6 more. So a very expensive order from Calendar, Joe.
Yes, Brian, and the PITONS SOUFRIERE team, they're really on the hunt now, and anything loose, they put it away over the boundary or into the boundary, and so I'm sure the captain of the SOUFRIERE team will be very happy with the proceedings at the moment, Brian.
Yes, so we're seeing that, as you said, Joe, the SOUFRIERE PITONS are on the hunt, and not often you hear people hunting lions. Normally the lions are on the hunt, but now the lions are being hunted.
Yeah, it's the
as we've seen some replays there of the shot, this one being hit. Yeah, as people hitting this one high over long on, going for 6. And we are joined by no other than Mr. Darren Sammy, just back from Pakistan. And we'll be having a quick word if Darren, Joe. As we see, they take a batting power play. So, a good afternoon to you, Mr. Sammy, and welcome to the SOUFRIERE Mini Stadium.
Good afternoon, Brian.
And we know you took the quickest flight out of Pakistan to get here. And how was your flight back to St. Lucia?
It was good. It was good. I saw all the highlights of the St. Lucia Premier League, and as soon as I touched down, I had to get myself in SOUFRIERE to catch the action. Okay, so it's good to have you here. We're watching the NAGICO South Castries Lions. They're up against the SRDF SOUFRIERE PITONS, and so far, what are your impressions of what you've seen? So far, it's been good. I think SOUFRIERE lost a couple wickets, but Eli Box and Hippolyte, you know, putting the attack back on South CASTRIES. As we see the skipper Johnson Charles taking the ball.
Yeah, so it's Charles bowling to Eli Box. Oh, it's a full delivery and no ball. Unintentional. It was unintentional.
Not a good start for the captain.
Yes, no balls. It's a free hit. Just probably sweaty palms. Just slipped out of the hand there. So
this one might disappear.
Let's see what skipper Charles has in mind. A very experienced player he is in bowls. And this hand is gone. Oh! He called it, and you called it. It's gone way over the commentary box. And 6 more. 6 more. And the 50 partnership up of 36 deliveries. And we will have the replay in a bit. Free hit. And here goes Eli Box hitting this one, launching this one out of the ground for maximum. Let's see how Charles responds. Oh, Yorker delivery, digs it out, and Daniel Jabatis picks up coming in from short fine leg. And what's happening now is early on the earlier bowlers set the platform, but the backer bowlers seem to be letting the players off the hook at this point.
Yes, South CASTRIES definitely needs to break this partnership, and I know Johnson Charles will be looking to do just that.
This one is wide down the leg side. I think what needs to happen now, the fielding team just needs to keep calm and just settle themselves. Last evening, they had the game under control, and towards the end of the inning, the first inning, they gave away some runs, which at the end of the day, they lost by 8 runs. Charles bowls, and this one he hits it straight back again. Has gone 6 more. Into the parking lot it goes. 6 more.
Hippolyte is playing a gem of an inning there. As you said earlier, the early opening bowler set the tone. They absorbed some pressure, and now they're putting back the pressure on the NAGICO South CASTRIES Lions.
Yes, and as we were saying, the ball has been retrieved, but the nature of the pitch, the last 3 games we witnessed here, it has been in the favor of the spinners. So it's a bit surprising that Charles has not brought on his spinners as yet. It's Charles from the commentary box end to Hippolyte. He's bowled him! He's bowled him. This one not making the height Hippolyte was expecting it to make. A bit slow as well. Played a little too early, and the ball just clipping the top of the middle and off stump, and Charles gets his revenge.
Yes. The skipper would be very happy with this wicket, because these 2 batsmen will bat in very well. As we see, Hippolyte departs for 35 of 23 balls, putting SOUFRIERE Pitons in a good position.
Yes, a good little cameo inning by Prosper, not by Hippolyte, sorry. But Johnson Charles using a bit of his experience there, just slowing this one down a bit, and the adrenaline that gets flowing. Hippolyte trying to repeat, this time trying to go a little wider, but played a little too early, missed, and the ball end up in the stumps.
Yeah, it's a good example of, closing down the over. Even if he's been hit for, I think, 15 in the over, getting a wicket could change the momentum. Bringing a new batsman in, you never know with T20. Every ball is an event. Yes,
and the new batsman is Sanjay Pamphil. He really lit up the the Friday night skies with some power hitting. But he got 49 of 23 balls in the last game. But his team was not able to get home. They lost by just 12 runs as Charles just stopped at his tracks there. So the SOUFRIERE team going for the juggler, sending in if we could call him the power hitter.
It's a funny feel Charles have with the power play over. He only has 3 guys outside the circle.
Yes, and first ball, he plays it down to down to long on where Simon picks up, and we see Xavier, the tall frame of Xavier, just collapsed in there in a heap. But a single, pretty long over there, 105 for 4. We're into over number 13. Charles, the skipper, wanting to contribute as well. Bowls down the leg side it goes, and it's a wide. Wide.
It's not a good start for Johnson, even if he got the wicket of Hippolyte.
Yes, and as I said earlier, it's just a matter of the team just calming their nerves, just keeping it cool, not rushing things. Nothing wrong in taking a few seconds just to get your thoughts together as Charles runs away from us, bowls to Eli Box, and he hits this one. That's 6 more. It goes into the stands, a couple rows up, and 6 more. And skipper Charles has been roughed up a bit there by Eli Box and earlier on Hippolyte.
23 runs coming out of that over.
Oh, the most expensive over to date, 23 of the over. And despite the fact that a wicket was taken in that over, skipper Charles will not be too happy.
Could have been the most dangerous over as you had the spectators in the stands ducking for cover.
Yes, but we also had a couple in a couple games ago, 1 or 2 spectators were able to Kester Charlemagne, and we know Charlemagne being used most of the time to bowl in the death overs. So we have there are 7 overs to go. So it's Charlemagne bowling to Pamphil, and I'm sure he'll be looking to repeat his heroics of Friday night, where he almost single-handedly won the game for SOUFRIERE. This one is outside your stump. He lets it go through. Probably just having a look.
Having a look, yes, with 7 overs left in the innings. That's enough time to see how the pitch is playing.
Well, knowing our players, they don't take too long having a look. So it's Kester Charlemagne running away from running into bowl to Pamphil, and he hits it down to long on where Gabriel is in attendance. 1 run.
Yeah, Kester is definitely trying to get the Yorkers in. You know, it's important that they contain these batsmen.
Yes, and he did an excellent job last evening where he castled 2 or 3 of the opponents, bowling stump to stump. So Charlemagne, as Eli Box surveys the field. Charlemagne to Eli Box. Oh, in the block hole he goes again, and Eli Box was winding up, but then he had to come down hard on this one.
There's nothing wrong with these deliveries. You know, from time, a Yorker is a Yorker. Most difficult ball to hit.
Well, you know, there's only one man we know who tried to hit a Yorker. That's our friend Beaver. As he dabs this one down to third man, where Tony Simon picks up and makes sure this time that he has everything behind it. So it's 114 for 4. We're into over number 14. And so far, pretty good over so far. Charlemagne bowling to Pamphil. And he hits it straight down the ground, off the
Of the stumps
no,
there.
yeah, it goes straight into the stump. For a moment I thought it came off the fingers, but straight back into the stump, robbing him of maybe 4 runs there.
Yeah, but it's just good bowling, you know, by Kester Shalmine. You know, batsmen just could not get the elevation they needed because it was Yorker length delivery. Well fielded by the stumps, I must say.
Yeah. So it's Shalmine to Pamphil, and he goes wider, and Pamphil not able to connect as he tries to hit this one down to long off or over long off, and it's through to keeper Peters, and the sun is out as we speak.
Yes, and you know, I mentioned earlier, T20 is all about momentum. Every ball is an event, and you could see an over going for 23, followed by 2 runs. You know, that in itself is building pressure.
Yes.
You know, new batter coming in, trying to get his eye in, get a feel of the wicket, and that could put pressure on the batsman who's been in because he's not getting the strike. So let's see how this over goes from Johnson Charles, who's going to bowl another over.
Yes, the skipper backing himself, just like a skipper I know, backing himself to get it right. Charles running away from the commentary booth end, bowling to Eli box. He advances and he just stabs it out in front of him where moving well just ambles in and picks up 1 run. And as we were speaking about putting pressure last evening, we can recall Johnson Charles and Dwight Thomas batting, and Dwight Thomas eating up a couple deliveries, and Johnson Charles feeling the pressure and getting out in the process. At one point, Thomas facing some 20-odd balls for just 3 runs.
Wow.
So Charles bowls and he misses.
Yes, we could see what's happening. Pamphil so far has faced 6 deliveries for 2 runs, and Eli Box in the last 8 to 10 balls have not faced, and that could change the momentum of the game. As you could see, the covers blowing on the field, being taken off.
Yeah, so that shows that there is a bit of breeze out there. As Charles running away from us, bowling to Pamphil, and he plays this one down to the man at long off, Gabriel. Yeah, single.
He's doing the right thing, giving Eli Box the strike. But we could just sense something is about to happen.
Yes. Either way, that is. Either way.
Yep. This could go for 6, or this could be a wicket.
A wicket.
Right now.
Yes. So it's Charles running away from us to bowl to Eli Box, and he hits it down the ground, and well fielded there by Simon. And strangely, Darren, Simon has not been used at all.
Yeah, and no spinners. He's going all-pace attack.
Right, and Simon is a regular bowler in the Division 1 competition.
Yes.
A bit strange, but its skipper is in charge. He bowls to Pamphil, and he sinks one over. Is it going to be caught?
Oh, he should have gone for it.
Oh, at the last moment, Edmund probably figuring he would not get there and save the boundary instead.
Little bit of hesitation.
Yes.
I think he was worried about Tonius running towards him.
Well, maybe that too. Nobody, maybe a call could have done the difference. As Charles is into Eli Box, and he hits it through the extra cover, wide of the man at long up, and into the boundary goal for 4. And you could see he was shaping up for that shot. He opened up. Yeah. Charles pitched it wide, but he still was able to get onto it and powered it through the extra cover for 4.
Yes, as you could see, Charles failing to close this over. It would have been two back really good overs. That last ball going for 4, you know.
Well, and you could see that was on the cards. It was a good enough over so far, so you were expecting that Eli Box would be looking for another boundary. Charles went wide, but probably just a little too short, and giving him that sort of width to swing through the delivery.
And so far, what I've noticed with Charles, every time he takes pace off the ball, it works on the wicket. The batsman struggled to time it, and every time he's gone full and put ball his normal deliveries, he's been punished.
Right. So it's Charlemagne who had a pretty good over. First over bowled, and he hits it to the man at mid wicket, who is Shulan Isidore, able to get a single. In a while, we'll ask Darren about his exploits in Pakistan. The World 11 coming on the losing end.
Yes, Pakistan played some good cricket, but it was not about, to me, this trip was not about winning or losing. It was for a greater purpose. You know, Pakistan Cricket Board and ICC trying to bring cricket safely back to Pakistan. As we all know, some 9 years ago, what happened with the Sri Lankan
team,
cricket team.
As Charlemagne into Eli Box short, and Eli Box defends. And Charlemagne has been using his head there, Darren, mixing up the deliveries, keeping some wide, some on target, some back of a length,
yes,
having the batsman thinking.
Yeah, as bowlers, you got to be unpredictable. You know, the first over he bowled, he was bowling Yorkers. Now he's bowling the ball further back into the pitch. And this time he's gone for a Yorker.
And was that a chance?
You've been pretty harsh there on him, Brian. Yeah, it was in the air. He didn't get a hand to it.
Okay, well, I withdraw the chance. It was hit just wide of the bowler there. It came back pretty quickly. As Charlemagne again to Pamphil this time. The hits it. Is he going to be caught? Oh my goodness. And this one, he just tips it over the bar the hair of Man United, who would have been pretty happy about that save there. Xavier Gabriel trying, maybe not timing the jump, and this one just going over the fence for 6.
And if you look at it wrong, in all the fielders there, if one man had to take it, it would have been Xavier Gabriel,
yes,
being the tallest man on the field. And like you said, he just timed his jump too early.
Yes, but it would have been a fantastic catch as well. But 6 runs to Pamphil, and the score is 130 for 4, and we're into over number 16. So we're just having a look at it on the monitor. Gabriel just tipping it over the bar there. Can we? Yeah. And yes, earlier on we saw Nixon Edmund taking fine catch over on the mid-wicket boundary there. He gauged it well and actually took it just inside the room.
37.
So last night the Lions had to chase down 137. They fell 8 runs short, 7 runs short. But again, it was through some probably the guy is not thinking the game through at a crucial stage. But your team won yesterday very easily.
Very easy. One of the favorites.
Yes, we must say one of the favorites. Defeated the Knights, being captained by Dalton Polius.
But I'm wondering if I should play. I don't know when the last time I won a T20 match.
Well, they say form is temporary and class is permanent.
But I must commend the organizers. I think St. Lucia cricketers needed a tournament like this. And it's good to see. I think in the Windward Islands, we're probably the first to have our own Premier League.
Yes, and it's hats off to the SPL. As we just have the group standings up in front of us. City Blasters heading their group so far with 3 points, while in Group B it's been headed by the
Craft Masters.
and the Trailblazers both having won their games. As we see,
whipping this one off his pads.
As we see a full livery, Shalman going for the Yorker there, and it all went wrong. And it ended up being a full livery, and he whipped it off the pads, and 4 more, taking the score to 134. And the South Castries bowlers just losing a bit of killer instinct there, trying in closing off in the last couple overs. 16 overs now completed, 134. But still, Darren, I must say, still a little strange why we haven't seen any spinners in, yeah.
And with 4 overs left, I don't know if Charles will bring on his spinners, because he's bringing on Calendar, who's been a bit expensive.
Yes, he was. His last over, I think he went for almost 20. So far, he has bowled
2 overs for 26 runs.
Yes, so. But one of the criticisms we have had of the team is that they, on this pitch, they continue to bowl continue to bowl half trackers.
Yeah.
There's Isidore. They've brought on Isidore.
It's important that you assess, quickly. The first few overs on the pitch with the new ball tells you what line and length that will work and keep the batsman quiet. So far, after we're into game number 4, and some 42 maximums have been hit so far. As the guys are over across on the far side getting the covers ready. We have a drizzle with us at the moment. So it seems that it's the umpires are calling for the covers. No, it doesn't look too heavy.
So the umpire Leos is calling for the covers, and the presiding umpire Williams is saying, "Hold on."
Okay, Leons gives up.
Yes.
He's not a good weatherman.
Well, Ewan Williams is closer from this side than Leon, so he probably has a bit more knowledge. As Chillen Isidore is in, bowl, so just a dongle leg side and wide.
If you look at the field, he has deep foot man, Dwight Thomas at point, Simon at cover. He has no one sweeping on the offside. A long off, a long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg.
Yes,
I guess he's looking to bowl into the pads.
That's right.
But with fine leg up, I'm not understanding the plan.
Well, let's wait and see how it unfolds. Isidore into this one goes through his legs and taken by the keeper, Peter. So, as you're saying, it seems there'll be attacking him, the ball coming back in. But Isidore, as we know, normally bowls a foolish length, and he has bowled well so far. As we see, umpire Williams now calls on the covers. So we will have a break in play. At and 17th over, it's 135 for 4. So yesterday we were saying that the City Blasters having an easy win over the Groves Lane Knights. The Knights only able to get to 72. And it was not a matter of the pitch, just that the players were not able to apply themselves and put a decent score on the board.
Yeah, well, I think South Castries would be the happy of the two teams for the rain. A welcome break. Maybe Skipper Johnson Charles could have a word in the dressing room with his bowlers, letting them know the last 4 overs of the match we got to finish really well, execute their plans much better. It seems like the rain is stopping, Brian.
Well, it seems to, well, we cannot see the hills, that's where the rain comes from. But we noticed they have brought all the covers on, so yes, we'll get a shot of, yes, we'll take a look at the monitor to see if we can see yes or yes in the hills, yeah. Right. Okay, so Darren, so after we leave SOUFRIERE this weekend, we head over to Marbella Valley in a couple of days, although there is some bad weather, but a few more matches to come. So far, in fact, as we speak, the sun seems to be coming out.
But they're bringing on more covers.
They're bringing on more covers.
Maybe they're seeing something we're not
seeing, right?
From the commentary box.
Yes, so the weather area is behind us, so we're not quite sure what we're seeing, or they're seeing, but as you said, they're bringing on some more covers. But so far, despite the fact that the scores have been a bit on the low side, there's been some interesting games played, all having to do with the pitches being prepared a little on the late side, because at this time, football is going on. As we could see the weather in the background, to further west, we can see it's clear further west towards the Piton area, but the weather comes from the back, which we were showing a little earlier. It was not all white, so that's, yes, it's not all white. So some good news. Some good news. So I think that will be the pattern for the day. They'll be in and out. And they normally say in those kind of conditions, the team batting second normally has the advantage. Let us see if that is going to be truly so. But another thing we can touch on quickly, Darren, we just had the conclusion of the CPL. Things didn't go all that well for the Stars, despite the fact that we had a number of good players. Your thoughts?
I think we just didn't click well as a team. We were dealt two big blows, losing Malinga and David
Miller. Yeah.
Shane Watson, coming here injured. Couldn't bowl. Well, he couldn't play the first 2 or 3 games, and then couldn't bowl until he became captain. So yeah, he was a key player for us, and we just didn't perform. Then we had Jesse Ryder replacing Miller, and he too was injured.
Oh, okay.
So it was just the Stars just faded.
Yes, yes. Well, Stars never fade.
Well, this team did not shine at all. Maybe
yes.
we should play during the day.
Right, right.
But no, look, it was a learning experience, and it's always painful to see your team perform the way they did when they could always do better.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to next year.
Okay.
We don't know what will happen, but CPL is growing every year. So,
yes.
Hopefully next year, we could
rebound.
Yes.
Yes.
Come back stronger.
Yeah. And I mean, in cricket, in any sport, you have your off days, your off season. So this year, as you said, things didn't gel as well as it did last year. For example, I mean, we had the camp, and when the tournament started, it didn't look like the players, despite some of them were there for a year or two, but it didn't look like the team had really gelled.
The first 4 years, CPL, we were run by CPL.
Right.
So now we are the owners coming in, taking over. The first time they really owned any sports team.
Oh, okay.
So they had some challenges.
Okay.
And I think both the cricketers and the owners, they've learned from this tournament, and hopefully next year we can improve, because that is definitely not the brand of cricket
we're known for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope that the fans can be patient and sympathetic. You know that our St. Lucian fans, it takes a lot to please them, and they don't want to hear any excuses. So we just have to wait and see what happens next year, and hope that things can get better.
Yes, we definitely looking forward to CPL 2018 and much more better, much more improved performance.
Yes.
From St. Lucia Stars, or maybe we should go back to the Zooks. You never know.
Well, I'm sure maybe the CPL owners, the CPL, they might be looking at that. But is it a one-off contract with the owners, or is it?
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that one. But St. Lucia will have a franchise next year. I think probably they might split the games. You know, you never know. The Windward Islands government might come on board and probably shift the home games.
Okay, well, we can speak about our CEO is right there, talking about the new franchise. So maybe the CEO here can put in a word and see if the SPL can probably get involved and probably own that franchise.
Most definitely what I'll do, look at the performances of this tournament, to see if we could,
draft in
some local players, and that's what's been missing. We don't even have a Windward Islands T20 competition, which we used to have in the past, where you could see which new talent coming through
the Windward,
so you could pick your local players, and it's something I've spoken about. I've spoken to the
local president,
local president and Windward Islands president as well. It gives our players a better chance to go out and put their name in for in the Caribbean Premier League draft.
Okay. All right. Now we know that the Cricket West Indies for the tournament is not too far off. How involved are you going to be? I know you'll be jetting off to Bangladesh pretty soon.
Yeah, 4-day cricket. I'm done with 4-day cricket.
Okay.
I'm retired from that format, but hopefully in January or February, before I go off to the Pakistan Super League, I should be available 5 to 6 games for the Windward Islands in the Super 50.
Okay.
I've spoken to the coach, the new coach, Andre Kohli, and hopefully, I could be a part of that one-day setup.
Okay. Okay, but as we speak of the Windwards and so on, we're seeing we're seeing that we getting fewer and fewer players into the Windward Island setup at the senior level.
Yeah, and it's strange because we normally dominate the under 15 and the under 19 level. And as I speak now, I could call a number of St. Lucian players that who've done well. We look at Keddy Lesporis, who continues to be ignored in the Windward Island setup. We saw last season Johnson Charles was dropped from the Windward Islands team. We've not seen Galton Polius, who I think the last 2 games he played, he got a 5-wicket haul in the last 2 games he played for Windward. So I don't know what's going on. We saw the draft happened, and I think we have
two
players getting contracts in Tariq Gabriel and Audi Alexander.
Yeah.
But you look at Johnson Charles,
Keddy,
Galton Polius,
even Edward, Larry Edward. Yeah.
And all these guys continue to be ignored.
Right. Well, as we speak, they can enjoy some highlights, but it is something that has to be looked into, because a couple years ago we were at that point where there's only one player. just yourself on the Windward's team, and then we had a few guys coming in. The team was doing well, but now it seemed that we are going back to the drawing board.
Yes, and I think it doesn't reflect the state of our cricket, especially at the junior level, because like I said, we keep on producing the young players. They are Kimani,
Melius, John L. Eugene, yeah, the same Dane Edward. Yeah. And we have a youngster, Gavin Serrier Jr. There is Lee Solomon. Yeah.
We keep on producing a lot of cricketers on the Windward Islands on the 15 or
19. Yes.
You know, but somehow, you know, as it has always been, we can't break through
on the senior
team.
Yeah. Well, we just need to hope for the best. We're not just going to roll over and die and give up the fight.
No way.
We need to keep fighting.
Going back to this match, the covers have been taken off. Is there Duckworth Lewis in this tournament?
Yes, there is. The Duckworth Lewis is definitely in place. So we are moving with the times at the SPL. They are moving with the times. So they are prepared for what's to come.
I must say I was in shock when I was in England and I saw a feed pop up on my on my page, and then I clicked it, and then I saw I was watching live cricket.
Oh my goodness! So we're being carried around the world, and that's certainly good.
That's very good. I must commend the SPL.
Yep.
You know, we're doing it big here in St. Lucia.
Yes, and as you say, we have to congratulate the SPL, CEO Hassan Aristi and the crew. We're hoping that more support can be given from the local the local end, the local business end. We're hoping that we can get some more support so that it can grow. But we definitely need the support of the local community.
Yes, and we've been getting the support of Great Vision.
Yes.
Great Vision Designs.
Great Vision Designs, and I must say
that's how I was able to click on my link.
Yes.
And watch it online. I was like, wow.
Yes. So
you know, I'm watching local cricket on the internet.
Yes, and it's
I don't think that has been done before.
Before, right? And I think a lot of countries would be looking at this and wanting to emulate us.
Yes, in fact, it was I think Cyril Child's sister in England.
Okay.
You know, she said to me, I got to wake up at 1 o'clock to watch the games.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and then she said she's been watching it live.
Okay.
You know, it says the CPL is very hot in Lucian terms. It means it's exciting.
Exciting, yes, yeah. Yes. So we are surely keeping up with the times, and I must say too, the crowd support has been fabulous, despite the fact that you have two teams not from the. Well, yesterday we had 4 teams not really from the area. The crowd turned up last evening, and Friday night was really just jam-packed.
I think
Friday night.
The 4 venues we have, especially SOUFRIERE and Mabuya, they're known for, you know, very good districts where in terms of supporting sports, you know, and SOUFRIERE is known to be a sporting district. They come out and support their teams. And you know, even with the black hat going on, you know, it shows that cricket is still a #1 sport, you know, going around.
Yes, and we were commenting on that earlier. We were commenting on that earlier. Despite the fact that black hat opened yesterday, we were still able to have a decent crowd turn up. And a lot of persons were thinking, hey, black hat is on. There will be nobody at SOUFRIERE, but that was not the case yesterday.
Yes,
and today as well.
Yep, and as you could see, the Choiseul Craft Masters.
Yes.
We're playing in the second game against.
They're playing against the Miku Trailblazers.
Miku Trailblazers. They look very smart.
Yes, and that's one of the things. Again, Darren, the teams all look very smart. They look very professional.
That's what I'm saying.
And could you imagine before this tournament, the teams were actually engage in practice matches.
Yes, it was.
Willing to share the cost of whatever expenses, and the practice games were going.
That tells a lot. You know, it took a young man in Hassan, you know, to bring that out. You know.
Right.
So it's good for St. Lucia cricket.
Yes, it is, because it's doing for cricket what Black Hat is doing for football. As live action, Sheldon is the ball, so Eli box and he hit it there. He should be caught. Almost. Gabriel not taking the catch there, falling short. Falling between Xavier Gabriel and Dwight Thomas. So the break seemed to be, well, I shouldn't say be doing the feeling the mud, but the first ball off, and you have a missed opportunity.
Yes.
So when we had the break, the momentum was with the SOUFRIERE team. So let us see who benefits from this break.
And Sheldon looks very disappointed. He thought he had the wicket of
Eli Box.
Of Eli Box, who's been batting pretty well.
Pretty well. This one, he tugs it onto the leg side, where it's Johnson Charles who picks up, and Nicky Leibock was trying to go back for the second. And Johnson Charles positioning himself at long on, so he's expecting something to come his way, as Pamphil is now on strike. And Darren, did your team Arsenal play today?
Yes.
And what was the result?
I think it was 0-0 at
Oh.
the bridge.
Oh.
I'm okay with that result.
Okay.
You know, I have some Chelsea fans who's been in my inbox. Sheldon bowls this one shot. A chance of a run out.
Oh, just pretty close. Oh.
He dived right
into the stumps. Yeah.
Wow.
Almost like a baseball play there.
That is commitment.
Yes.
Trying to get in.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a good result for us at the bridge.
Okay.
You know, all my Chelsea fans before the game started, they were sending me messages about how many goals they were gonna score. You know, and I'm quite happy with the result.
Okay,
Chelsea
well,
being the so-called
champions,
they say they are.
Okay, well, I was not able to get some of the results. Do you know if Manchester United played this weekend?
I don't follow Manchester United at all. I do not follow Manchester United at all. You might have to ask Darren Jr. about that.
Okay. I'm sure before the evening is up, we'll get the score. So we're back to live action. It's Sheldon Isidore bowling from the commentary booth end, and he's bowling over the wicket to Nick Eli Box, who backs away and just mistiming this one. It goes down to long on, where Johnson Charles picks up. And Darren, as we said, the break so far, the batting team seems to just lost that little momentum.
Yes, they got to reassess the conditions again, and I must say Sheldon this time normally look to bowl Yorkers.
Yes.
He's been bowling the cutters into the wicket,
yes,
making it difficult for the batsman.
And this time he again is one right up to the bat, and Pamphil trying to muscle this one down the ground, only succeeded in playing it at his feet, and keeper Junior Peter picks up. So it was a pretty good over from Isidore.
He completes his spell, 4 overs, 2 wickets for 28 runs, and that's a job well done.
A job well done, yes. And apart from 1 or 2 blemishes in the field of the bowling, a pretty good spell by Isidore. So let's see what the captain is going to do. He is introducing, it looks like
Kester is still bowling.
Kester, yes, he Sheldon had a quick word with Kester, so let's see what's going to happen. Kester, as we said, he has been used to bowl in a death, so he knows a thing or two about bowling those Yorkers.
And looking at the field, I think he's going to bowl. The field he has suggests that he will be bowling some slow balls into the wicket.
Okay, so here is shot. This time a slow bouncer there, and Eli Box not timing, and he gets away with it.
I think the break it gave Johnson Charles a chance to, speak to his teammates, and I guess the coach John Eugene as
right,
well,
right.
How they're gonna come out and execute out there in the middle. As you could see, this deep square leg is going a little further behind. It says that he's gonna bowl short again.
Yes, so. And again, he tries to muscle it through the onside. Only succeeded in hitting it hard into the pitch. But that can be a little dangerous, Darren, because he is bowling some slow half trackers there. And if Nick should connect, it's going to go some distance.
So far, he's been hitting the full balls back over the heads.
Okay, so he connects this one. They're looking for 2. They will get 2. As a man from square leg runs in, and Chilton Isidore, and 2 more runs, 142. But so far, it's been working. Yeah,
you saw the over Chilton bowl a lot of slower balls into the pitch, and Kester, who normally look to bowl Yorkers, they're doing. It shows that they've
done their homework.
Yes.
So it bowls. And this one.
That one should be out.
Oh, just over the fence. 6 more. 6 more runs there, and that's what I was saying. It's going to be a little dangerous because what he did, he hung back, and instead of hitting across, he hit it straight back over.
But as you could see, the length on this one was different. This one was a touch fuller.
Right.
A touch fuller, and that was right into
his arc. Yeah.
His arc. Instead of. If it was shorter, you would have to go a little squarer. That's what you've been doing the overs before.
Right. So, Charlemagne will have to do a bit of thinking.
But so far, it's been good. The last 3 overs of the game, and they've hit 1 boundary in the last 8 balls.
So, Charlemagne into Eli box, short, and he's ducking and pulling. And it's Thomas running around at Chilton Isidore. They're coming back for the second.
Chilton doesn't have a strong arm.
He doesn't have a strong arm anymore as they go through for 2. And 54 Eli box. Yeah. 50.
45 deliveries.
So first 50 of the tournament.
Is it?
Yes, we've had a couple 40s. I think about 4 40s. A 48, a 49. And so it's Charlemagne to Eli box. Off the inside and down to the boundary goes 4 runs, and this is what you get at this stage of the game. This one was coming back into the batsman, had a go, and the 50 partnership is also up. So it took the inside edge, Darren, and the man at short fine couldn't get around. Neither could the man at third man, and this is also the highest score of the tournament so far, 154. 154 for 4, and we in the 18th over.
And it seems to me the SRDF Pitons love 50 partnerships in 34 balls, because I think Eli Box and Hippolyte did put on 50 or 44 balls as well.
Yes, so it looks like the South-CASTRIES Lions will have the work cut out for them.
Is the pitch getting better? As you said, it's the highest.
Yes, it is. Well, today we noticed that the heavy roller was on for a bit. So, as I said, the couple matches before, the spinners seem to have been the ones providing a challenge, and we know
we've not seen any spin today.
Well, not in this inning, but we know the SOUFRIERE Pitons have a spinner or 2. Nick Eli Box was used as a man with the golden arm in the last game, but there's Darius Monrose.
Xavier Gabriel comes into the attack to bowl his last over. So far, 3 overs, 1 wicket for 19 runs. It's been pretty economical.
Yes, you will not see the notes in there of the 1 or 2 innocuous deliveries, but the figures tells it. He's been economical so far. Let's see if he can use his experience to close off the last few. And it's a bowling power play. So he bowls short, and it's in the air. Will he be caught? Yes, he is. Off the glove it goes. And Peter takes the catch. Pamphil goes. So Friday, there's not going to be a repeat of Friday evening. So Pamphil goes, and as we said, Darren, it seems the the break has done the fielding team the better of the good so far.
And it looks like they have a plan. They're going to bowl short into the wicket or bowl slower balls into the pitch, forcing the batsman to play across the line of the delivery.
Right. But the thing about bowling short is you're not just going to pitch the ball in short. You need to put the effort in. And when we saw Xavier Gabriel bowl last night, it was just about going for the motion. But today he seemed to have been putting in the effort. And even yesterday, when he put in the effort, he didn't get that sort of zip of the wicket.
Yeah, Xavier has, you know, he's one that has not fulfilled his true potential. You know, I remember him as a under 15, under 19 cricketer coming into the national team. You know, he made his debut for Windwards against Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah.
You know, bowling against guys like Chris Gayle and Wavell Hines. And, you know, he had the pace.
Yes.
You know, it's unfortunate that he's not matured into the cricketer that we think.
Yes, so it's Gabriel bowling to, down the leg side wide. Bowling to Gregor Mitchell. No, it's Eli Box.
They crossed whilst the ball was in the air.
Wait, did I see the umpire signal?
But
wide,
it seems like Eli Box favors the ball pitched up.
Pitched up, yeah.
You know, and it took them a while to realize that. I think this one is going to be short again.
Yes. Yes, well bowled.
Gabriel.
Yes, he took a little piece of this one because Eli Box was playing that shot from last week. And missing there.
Yeah, giving himself some
room. Right.
Thinking that it would be short, but clever bowling by Xavier Gabriel, using all his experience.
Yeah. And I think that is what the South Catches Lions lacked last night in the closing overs. As Gabriel is into the Eli Box, he backs away slow between himself and the leg stump. So 3 good deliveries there from Gabriel. The score 155 for 5.
And it's good bowling in the 19th over. You know, just a wide conceded of the first 3 deliveries, and also a wicket.
Yes, and just after this delivery, we'll give you a crowd count. This one is hit high, and it's gone. It's gone for 6. Yes, it's gone for 6. This one was a little too close to the batsman, and he is able to connect.
Yeah, and you know, as a bowler, you don't mind that because he hits you doing what the team required. The plan.
Yes.
He was sticking to the plan, and you know, in T20, the batsman will play some good shots, and you could see we playing in SOUFRIERE, the local supporters, you know.
Yeah, they're behind the team, and we're having a decent crowd now, Darren. Almost at full house.
Oh. As I look to my left, I see my good friend Gary Maffrey, who's captaining Miku.
Yes.
Next match, as Gabriel runs in, bowls another short ball down the leg side. Umpire signals wide. Takes the score to 162 for 5, with 8 legal deliveries left in the inning.
Yes, but it was not the intention was good, but he was a little too far down the leg side. So it's Xavier Gabriel into Eli Box. Bowled him! A slow one this time. He was making room to hit through the offside, Marlon Samuels, but he backed away too far and missed it, and he's bowled off stump. So Darren, as we said, again, the bowling to a plan, and it's coming through. And in this latter over, you expect the boundaries to be coming now and then. And this one, slower delivery, as Xavier Gabriel using all the experience, slowing it down. But Eli Box is backing away and missing this one.
But the crowd appreciates a good inning. You know, 61 off 40 deliveries. You know, putting his team in a very good position. So far, Xavier Gabriel, 3.5 overs, 3 wickets for 27 runs.
Yes, a good figure so far. I would take those figures in a T20 any day.
Yeah, any day.
Wayne Prosper is the new batsman. So Gabriel, no adjustments to the field, but the total, a pretty decent total so far.
highest of the tournament.
So far, yes, as Gabriel to Prosper. And almost playing it back to the bowler. Another slow delivery.
Good spell.
Good spell of bowling by Gabriel, yes. A lot better than what he had last night. 2 for 28. 2 overs of 28 runs he went for last night. So,
as we welcome to the box, Gary Mafre.
Winning captain Matre of the Trailblazers and Jamaica Talawa's former CPL champions. so we have 2 champions in the house.
Well, actually 3, Brian. You're a champion as well. As we look at the last over being bowled by Kester Charlemagne.
Kester from the far end bowls, and he just nudges out into the offside, and Moving Wells picks up 1 run, and a very exciting game last evening from the Trailblazers. Mr. Matre, well played, and we had a lot of excitement last evening.
Yes, thank you, Brian. It was a good game last night.
And what do you think? I think you've been here for a bit. What do you think of the game so far?
I've been here for just a couple overs. It looks like SOUFRIERE is putting a formidable score on the board, but we all know if Charles gets in, any score could look very, very small.
That is correct. Yes.
Well said.
So you captain in the Miku franchise?
Yes.
Yes.
Wide. Long leg side, and Junior Peter almost missing this one there.
What's your take on this St. Lucia Premier League? What do you think it will do for our local cricketers?
I think it will do a world of good for our local cricketers, and I think before that we didn't have much going on. You know, I spoke to my guys about it and told them I think it's a wonderful opportunity for them because you never know who's watching. So, you know, when you're out there, give it your best. We are out there representing the Miku constituents, and we take pride in doing that.
As we see a short delivery from Charlemagne, and Prosper trying to swing this one up over mid wicket, but missing, and Junior Peter collects cleanly. So it's Charlemagne again, bowls short again and hits down to mid wicket. They're looking for 2. Will they come back for the second? No, it's Tonya Simon picking up and just 1 run. So good over so far, 165 for 6. But what do you think would be the pass score here, gentlemen?
Well, so far it's been the most runs scored in the tournament. Normally the team score 130, 140. SOUFRIERE has put a good total on the board. I think they will be happy going in halfway during the match. But like Gary said, with Johnson Charles, Moving Wells, Dwight Thomas,
Calendar.
Yes, Calendar, all these guys, you know, they're good players.
And I don't know if you heard last evening, Calendar flat batted the ball, and they found that ball at the PI secondary school area.
Yeah, he hits it very hard.
And far. Oh, no trick. Well, this one hit into the offside. Moving Wells picks up as the batsman run through for a single. But last night also Richard Peter also batted very well. Veteran in his own right, he batted very well. He made 48.
So since the break, you know, 3.5 overs have been bowled. They've scored 31 runs.
Wow.
And lost.
Oh!
Well done by Kester.
This one has hit back to Kester, feeling well, and there's the last ball of the over, and Prosper was on his way for the single, expecting the ball to beat Charlemagne, and in the end being run out. So at the end of 20 overs, 166 for 7, and the NAGICO of CASTRIES Lions will have their work cut out for them, Darren and Gary.
Most definitely. And like we said, the break did help NAGICO, South Castries, NAGICO, the Lions to regroup, and they came back and they executed much better. At one point in time, they were looking at chasing 180, and they restricted them to 166. And with the likes of Johnson Charles and Dwight Thomas and Mervyn Wells, it could be an interesting game developing.
Yes, especially with the weather around. I mean, it's in and out, so I guess the players will have one eye on the weather. And just let me ask Mr. Matre, on your way up, what was the weather like?
It was raining. It was raining on the way up. It wasn't as heavy, but it was. We had a few drizzles on the way down. Coming in. So hopefully the weather holds up, because I think the crowd deserves to see something good from Johnson. Hopefully the weather holds up, and then the crowd enjoys a few sixes from Mr. Charles and the rest of the South.
Don't forget, the crowd is supporting SOUFRIERE. So they would love to see the back of Johnson Charles.
Well, I am hoping that we get both games in, and we can witness some exciting cricket, and we get both games in, because the crowd will have traveled from far. We're just going to go through the scorecard. Candice Richardson, he was out for 8. Tennessee Hippolyte 21. Kiefer Prospect 4. Ashley Hippolyte, he got 35. Nick Elibok 61. Sanjay Pamphil 16. Gregor Mitchell, he was not out on 2. And Wayne Prospect, he was run out for 1. In terms of the bowling.
Xavier Gabriel, he bowled his 4 overs, collected 3 wickets for 27, being the pick of the bowlers. Also, Sherlan Isidore, his 4 overs went for 28, and he picked up 2 wickets in the process, and 1 wicket for Johnson Charles, who was a touch expensive.
Yes, he was a touch expensive, and last evening he should have bowled a couple more overs, but he only decided to bowl 1 over. But all in all, 167 for victory. Just over 8 runs, 8.3 runs and over will be required. So it's going to be a pretty, I won't say a tall order, but the batting team will have to pull out all the stops.
I think the key lies in Johnson Charles.
Yes, but Johnson has not had a decent run so far in the practice games. He has had a few scores, but last evening I could say he was very unlucky, because he was dismissed caught at mid-wicket by Gary Matre, and looking at the field, the only person who would have taken that catch would have been Gary Matre.
Well, the word wrong was Miku and Viewfort. Miku Trailblazers, yes, and Viewfort Sunrisers were the weaklings of the tournament. That's what I was hearing. But as we always say, cricket is played out there in the middle.
That's right.
As strong as South Castries, NAGICO Lions looked on paper, but the experience of Gary Matre, leading his team with lights of
Chauvin
Charles and Cyril Charles,
yeah,
the experience
Richard
of
Peter, yeah.
Yes, they managed
Hazel Shalry.
They managed to
pull it off.
And I know, in order for South Castries Lions to keep their hopes alive in this tournament, they need a positive result tonight.
Well, I think both teams need a positive result, and I don't want us to sound too biased here, but I know we'll all be hoping that the Lions can roar.
Yeah, I think you have close ties to the Lion there, Brian. You have close ties with the Lions. Yes.
Yes, but all in all, I mean, as long as we can get a good game, so far, with the exception of the first game yesterday, the 3 games have been pretty decent games, and the crowd has been totally entertained.
Well, once again, I want to big up the St. Lucia Premier League CEO, Hassan Eriste. You know, I remember Hassan pitching the idea to me a long time ago. You know, it took some time, make sure it was the right time, and you know, the right people got on board, and I'm very pleased for him and for the cricketers that we could have a tournament like this, Brian. You know, where you have some 8 teams, if I'm correct,
8
with 15 cricketers.
16.
16 cricketers. My math's not too good, but you're looking at over 100 cricketers, you know, on display. You know, and that could help develop and spot some new talent.
Yes, and one of the innovations of this, there are 2 wildcard players out of well, there are 8 wildcard players, but 2 of the 8 are from St. Martin. One is with the NAGICO South Castries team, and one is with the Avatar City Blasters. The plan was to have 8 players out of St. Lucia, but at some point, I'm not quite sure what happened, but then they could have only gotten 2.
Yeah, and
but it's a good step so far.
I must say the St. Lucia Premier League is attracting cricketers from all over. The amount of guys that send me DMs. Yes, as we look at.
Okay, so Pamphil is leading the batting so far. So he's carrying the orange cap or the green cap, but he's carrying the batting on so far. Some 65 runs in 2 innings, followed by Nick Eli Box with 61 and Christian Shalry 48. In terms of the bowling, it's Hazel Shalry. Hazel Shalry with 4 wickets, Wayne Prosper with 3, and Travis Gifford with 3. In the player rankings, Nick Eli Box, he has total 307 points. Pamphil 191, and Christian Shalry 138. So the SPL keeping in touch with what's happening. I mean, all the thing, you have the player rankings, you have the stats right there, you know, so total package.
Yes, and I know the man to my left, Mr. Maffrey, would want to be on the rankings this evening. You know, we both bat and ball. You know, and you know, I think in this tournament, you win your first 2 games, you
automatically through.
Put a foot and a half.
Yes.
Into the playoff spot.
Right.
You know,
right.
And I must commend my Avatar
City
Blasters for a convincing win.
Yes.
You know, yesterday, and I'm looking forward to making my debut next weekend in
Vieux Fort. I think
in Vieux Fort in the SPL. Yes. Yes. I hope. Are we in the same group, Mr. Maffrey?
No.
Yeah, opposite groups.
But you know, again, we say, Brian, you look at, you know, the opportunities being presented to the cricketers, and you know, it's also with this SPL, I think it's set a benchmark, you know, for cricket in St. Lucia as well. You know, and if it could be successful, which I have all faith in which it will be, you know, it could only grow from strength to strength. You know, probably next season, who knows? We could have an overseas player from the islands.
Yes, yes,
be a form of developing players who wants to come and experience franchise cricket.
Yes,
in St. Lucia.
Yes. I think that is the way to go. As you said, next season, I mean, it's nothing is laid down in stone, but we can see how it goes. Even at the local level, players will now be motivated to want to perform for the district, because they go into the draft, and going into the draft, they would know which players have performed during the season, and they get a chance to be selected. So I'm sure people like Gary will be looking to see who are the players who are performing in the local league and say, hey, manage, I think we could pick up this lad, and so on. So it gives the players a chance to show what they have, and who knows, next season they will be in the SPL.
Most definitely. And so far, who's been your
emerging player?
Your emerging player, Mr. Maffrey?
I have not seen too many games so far, but I kind of like. I didn't know this calendar guy.
Oh, Colin is okay.
The calendar.
Yeah.
He looks pretty strong from yesterday. Who else that I spotted? I like the bowler who bowled the last over today.
Oh, Kester Shalman.
Kester Shalman. I think he's very accurate, very decent in the field, very accurate. So so far those guys are the ones that I've seen.
Okay, so as we're going to take somewhat of a commercial break. It was nice having the champions with us, Gary Matre and Darren Sammy. We hope that at some point before the game ends, you will join us again.
Yes, most definitely. You know, for those listening, this is a friendship that goes way back to 1994, thereabout, when we used to play the United Insurance under 15 and under 19 tournaments, you know, and I must commend Mr. Maffrey. He is one of 3 St. Lucians who made it onto the international level, and he was the only St. Lucian left, or the only St. Lucian to have won the CPL. He will have to give me the formula for next season.
Yes, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice. It's always nice to chat with you, Brian, and Mr. Maffrey. Go well tonight.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes, and let the SPL continue to entertain the fans.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.